Hello everyone, my name is Hannah Riley and today I will be discussing a cash conversion cycle analysis between the companies Barnes & Noble and Amazon. First I will be discussing Barnes & Noble's calculations, and then after I will be discussing Amazon's calculations, and then overall kind of comparing the two. First I was asked what Barnes & Noble's average daily sales and average daily purchases were. Well, to figure this out, you first need the annual sales and the cost of goods sold. For Barnes & Noble, they had annual sales of roughly $3.66 billion and the cost of goods sold of roughly $2.55 billion. To find the average daily sales, I took the $3.66 billion and then divided it by 365 because that's how many days are in a year. To find the average daily purchases, I took the $2.55 billion and divided it by 365 as well. I came up with the average daily sales of 10,033,644 and the average daily purchases of 6,989,252. Next, I was asked to solve for the inventory conversion period, the receivables collection period, and the payables deferral period. In order to do so, I found the inventories to be roughly $958 million, their accounts receivables to be roughly $65 million, and their accounts payable to be about $459 million. I then took these values and either divided by the average daily sales or the average daily purchases. For the inventory conversion period and the receivables collection period, the average daily sales was my denominator, and then for the payables deferral period, the average daily purchases was my denominator. The inventory conversion period for Barnes & Noble came out to 95.50. The receivables collection period came out to 6.43, and the payable deferral period came out to 65.66. Finally, I was asked to solve for the cash conversion cycle for Barnes & Noble. And I did so by adding up the inventory conversion period and the receivables collection period and then subtracting the two by the payables deferral period. And by doing so, I came out with the answer of 36.28. So in the later part of our presentation, I will be discussing the same questions I previously just answered, but about Amazon's values instead. So first, Amazon had the annual sales of nearly $233 billion and the cost of goods sold of $139 billion. Therefore, I concluded their average daily sales of roughly $638 million and their average daily purchases of around $381 million. From there, I found Amazon's inventory conversion period, their receivables collection period, and their payables deferral period. Because Amazon had the inventories of $17.17 billion, the accounts receivable of $16.67 billion, and the accounts payable of $38.19 billion, I was able to find the inventory conversion period of 26.92, the receivables collection period of 26.14, and the payables deferral period of 100.18. Finally, I was able to solve Amazon's cash conversion cycle, which I found to equal negative 47.12. So after computing the data for Barnes & Noble and Amazon, I was asked to compare the cash conversion cycles. And as I mentioned previously, Barnes & Noble's had a cash conversion cycle of 36.28, and Amazon had a cash conversion cycle of negative 47.12. With Amazon having a negative cash conversion cycle, it was essentially due to the fact that their accounts payable was nearly double the amount of their accounts receivable and their inventories. And because of this, Amazon is still able to sustain their company and their growth with lesser accounts receivable. This is mainly due to the fact that their sales are made up through the internet. So how it essentially works is Amazon's proceeds of sales are collected before their goods are received and their products are shipped out for delivery. Lastly, I was asked to interpret my results, and in short, the fact that Amazon had a negative cash conversion cycle compared to Barnes & Noble reveals that Amazon is just able to sustain their operations with a lower degree of working capital. And overall, that concludes my analysis, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you learned something new.